Hey guys, Truth Talk with T. I'm your host, T. Let's go ahead and get into this episode. Today I want to talk about how you cannot get lean unless you intermittent fast in order to sustainably lose weight. Guys, this one is one that I've lived and transitioned over a period of almost 3 years' time in order to get to one meal a day and effectively full fast, which could be sunrise to sunset, a couple days throughout the week. Um, Full fast being no food, no water, right? And doing that, 2 to 3 days out of the week, mixed with condensing my time when I eat to be in about an hour or so a day, right? And that will be with water, right? I could have water, black coffee, that kind of thing. I will have tea. I know some people say, oh, this and that, black coffee, water. I'll have tea and water primarily. And the other thing is, right, is you got to get off the processed foods. Stop eating the processed foods. It's a bit of a task, but it certainly allows you the opportunity to, you know, really let your body begin to kind of adjust to, hey, I'm eating organically. I'm eating things that are going to be better for me. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to feel lighter, right? You'll start to see changes with your skin for the better. Just the texture of your skin, the clarity of it, get maybe a little bit of a glow. You'll start to feel kind of some of the tightening around certain areas and maybe problem spots in the midsection that were once a problem area, right? But as you're getting off processed foods and eating more natural foods, more nutrient rich foods, you're going to start to see things change. I've had good experience with eating a lot of the chicken breast, as a lot of people say. That with a bowl of veggies or some rice, keeping it simple, put some sauerkraut on the rice with some veggies. Man, that is such a great dish. I was shocked. I had heard about it. I gave it a go and now I'm hooked. It's pretty good stuff. And then, you know, um, there's a lot of mixed perspective on whether or not you should have fruit in that. But I think with intermittent fasting, the reality is you are going to be cutting your calories and creating a caloric deficit anyway. What I've been intentional about is if I'm going to have fruit, I'm going to have fruit that really helps promote stem cell, regeneration in the body. So if you're working out a lot, you're putting yourself through some, you're doing a lot of essentially lifting and then, high interval, doing a lot of sprinting, not running, sprinting, right? Sprint, walk. I'll do that at a local track or on my treadmill, right? Or at the rec center, or you can just go on, playing a couple games, a full court basketball. We'll do it, right? So you want to have, kind of that sporadic, heart rate increase type of activity mixed in with your weightlifting. So the intermittent fasting, it's also going to elevate your clarity, and so a lot of these things you're going to start to kind of feel yourself going through this transition, but you can't get lean and maintain it without this intermittent fasting. It actually kind of has to become a lifestyle, guys. And that's what a lot of these people, they don't tell you, but I tell you, when you get on this journey and you take your shirt off and you're kind of like cool, right? Looking like the way you want to be looking, you're doing what you need to be doing to kind of maintain it. You can't just go, eat a box of donuts and then go have, all these different lasagna and spaghetti dishes and whatnot. You like eat pizza. Like, it's got to be pretty structured. Not to say that you can't and shouldn't have like a cheat day. I've designated myself to having a cheat day once a month where I'm just basically getting into it and going, all right, what am I craving? I'm going to go and have that as a treat because I've been really freaking good. And then I'm going to transition and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I get back on it, right? And kind of work through it and eat my food for fuel. So, and then mixing in with those intermittent fasts, right? It's just you're going to start to see things kind of tighten up, and you're just really going to start to see the benefit when you step on the scale and you get kind of a depiction on over, let a couple weeks start to run as you're doing these intermittent fasts. If you want to start with one meal a day, it's probably a good way to do it. And then you can accelerate. I've even gotten up to like 5-day water fasts at times, right? Where I was cut, so it's like, hey, I like to do that every now and again because there's a good opportunity for, really kind of looking sharp the way you want to, especially if you're planning a vacation and things like that. So I hope this one reached you all well. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, guys, be true to yourself and each other.